What if the reason you can't focus isn't your fault? What if your restlessness, your endless scrolling, your inability to sit in silence is by design? Imagine this. You wake up, reach for your phone, and before you've even taken your first conscious breath, your mind is already hijacked. News alerts, messages, ads whispering, "You're not enough, not yet." And beneath it all, a quiet, unsettling feeling that something essential is slipping away. We call it modern life, but philosophers like Martin Heidegger and Arthur Schopenhauer would call it something else entirely. A grand illusion, a system built to keep you from ever meeting yourself. Because when you finally stop distracting yourself, you might have to face the terrifying question, who are you, really, when nothing is demanding your attention? This video is about that question and the uncomfortable truth hiding beneath your daily routine. Why is it that every app, every notification, every urgent task pulls you further from peace? And what do the great philosophers reveal about breaking free from this invisible machinery of distraction? Today we'll explore Schopenhauer's brutal honesty about the will, Heidegger's warning about the age of technology, and what this means for your mind in 2025. If you value deep thought, self-awareness, and the courage to question modern existence, subscribe to Psyche Storm, hit the like button, and share your reflections in the comments. Because here, we don't just think, we awaken. Arthur Schopenhauer once wrote, "Life swings like a pendulum between pain and boredom." That line alone could summarize the entire social media age. He believed that at the core of human existence lies the will, an endless, blind striving for satisfaction. We think we chase happiness, but really, we're running from emptiness. Every scroll, every purchase, every click is the will in motion, a restless hunger that feeds on itself. You crave stimulation because silence exposes the void. Society tells you to stay busy, to hustle, to never stop improving. But Schopenhauer saw this as the ultimate trap. The more you chase desire, the more it owns you. Think about it. How often do you reach for your phone? Not because you want to, but because you can't bear not to. Schopenhauer would call this slavery to the will, and he warned that modern civilization amplifies this, turning distraction into identity. We become consumers of everything, even of our own consciousness. But here's where it gets profound. Schopenhauer believed that art, music, and contemplation could momentarily silence the will, those fleeting moments when you lose yourself in beauty, when time dissolves and you feel utterly still. That's not escapism, that's freedom. Now, let's fast forward a century to Martin Heidegger, a philosopher who saw even deeper into the mechanics of modern distraction. Heidegger warned that technology isn't just a set of tools, it's a way of seeing the world. He called it enframing, the process by which everything, including you, becomes a resource to be optimized, managed, and used. In the digital age, that prediction has come true. Your attention is mined like coal. Your emotions are data points. Even your sense of self is packaged into content. Heidegger said, "The most dangerous thing about technology is not that it enslaves us, but that it blinds us to its domination." You don't notice it happening, because it feels normal. Convenience disguises control. Have you ever felt that time is slipping faster? That even leisure feels like work? That your mind is always half here, half somewhere else? That's not your weakness. That's the system doing exactly what it was built to do. Heidegger believed that our deepest loss in modern life is being, the ability to simply exist without turning ourselves into products. He wrote, "Man today is in flight from thinking." In other words, we're running from the stillness where meaning is born. Consider this. When was the last time you sat in silence without music, without checking your phone, and didn't feel an ache to escape that quiet? That ache, that pull toward distraction, is the signal Heidegger wanted you to hear. It's the sound of your being trying to wake up. Even great thinkers, Einstein, Kierkegaard, and Thoreau, warned against this same fate. Thoreau said, Men have become the tools of their tools. He wrote that in the 1800s, before smartphones, before algorithms. Yet here we are, more connected than ever, yet more disconnected from ourselves than ever before. Let's bridge philosophy with psychology, because what Schopenhauer and Heidegger intuited, neuroscience now confirms. Every notification triggers a dopamine loop, a hit of anticipation, not satisfaction. Your brain learns to crave novelty, not meaning, and so the cycle continues. Desire, distraction, emptiness, repeat. But here's the truth. Modern culture doesn't tell you. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're awakening. You feel restless because your soul is rebelling against the machine. Your attention isn't weak. It's sacred. And when the world tries to commodify it, your psyche pushes back. Psychologists call this cognitive overload, but on a deeper level, it's existential overload. You were never meant to process thousands of stimuli a day. You were meant to be, to create, to reflect, to breathe. Even Carl Jung understood this. He said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." That's the essence of distraction. Not avoidance of boredom, but avoidance of truth. Think about it. When was the last time you truly listened to your inner voice? Not the anxious chatter, not the algorithm's echo, but the quiet intuition beneath it all. This is your permission to slow down, to reclaim your mind, to remember that awareness is not a luxury, and it's your birthright. Modern psychology now validates what these philosophers already knew. Mindfulness, solitude, and deep reflection literally rewire your brain, restoring attention, empathy, and emotional balance. You don't need another productivity hack. You need presence. So here's the final revelation. Modern life is not just full of distractions. It is distraction. A web of noise designed to keep you from noticing your own depth. But beneath that noise is the stillness of being. The same stillness that Schopenhauer found in art, that Heidegger found in nature, that you can find every moment you dare to unplug and be. The question is, will you continue to serve the machine, or will you return to yourself? Because when you finally withdraw your attention from the chaos, you don't lose the world. You find it again, in its purest form, the taste of your coffee, the silence between words, the feeling of being alive without needing to prove it. That's not escapism. That's awakening. So, as you step back into the world today, remember, your attention is your life force. Guard it, honor it, choose where it flows. And if this message resonated with you, subscribe to Psyche Storm, share this with someone who's searching for meaning, and tell us your story in the comments. Because awareness begins with a single act of attention. And right now, that attention is yours.